Hi, today I'm going to show you how to create a chart using data in a Google Sheet, and then I will also show you how to get that chart into a Google Doc to be used in a lab report or another kind of document. You're going to want to start in your Google Drive, and once you get there, you're going to want to click New and Google Sheets. You're going to start by putting your data into column A. Notice I used a heading in row 1. That's going to save you some trouble later on. You're going to put your next set of data into column B. Now, if you have any more data, you'll just keep recording that in each of the following columns until you're done recording data. Once you're done entering all of your data, you're going to want to highlight by clicking and dragging on the data that you want to use to make a chart. So for example, if I want to make a chart from these two sets of data, I will highlight those two. I'm going to go to Insert, and then I'm going to choose Chart. Now the default for here, it seems like it's going to choose a bar graph for me, but that's actually not what I want because my first column on my data table up here is actually not a data point. Those are just labels. So I actually want to go to where it says chart types. And I'm going to use column A as labels. So if you are using those as labels like I have, you're going to want to check that option. Notice once I did that, it put the column A numbers across the bottom as container 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it used the second column as my y-axis here. So now I'm graphing the temperature of each of these 5 containers. Now a bar graph may not be what you need, so if you need a different type of graph, you can go down here to the charts. Maybe you want a line graph instead. You want to show that change in the different containers in my example here. So a simple click of that button will fix that for you. Some other things you may want to use up here on customization. You can customize the title. You can retitle it if you want to. I may title mine something else. Again, I can edit that however I want. You can also choose, it creates the legend for you, but you can choose where you'd like it to be. So check your requirements for your assignment. Otherwise, after that, it's just personal preference where you'd like that to be. You can change the font, any of those kinds of things. When you're completely done customizing and you've gone through all of these things that you need to, you will click Insert. Okay, but now we need to be able to get the chart into your Google Doc where your lab report's going to be. So what you're going to do next is you're going to go back to your Google Drive. Now if you already have a lab report created, or maybe your instructor has created a template for you, you're going to want to open that. But I don't have that, so I'm just going to create a new Google Doc to simply show you how to get it in there. You're going to go back to your spreadsheet tab. Notice I have both tabs open across the top. You're going to want that to stay there. Getting your graph or your chart in there is actually very easy. You're going to want to select the item by clicking on it. And then we're going to just do a very simple copy and paste. So you can actually go to the edit menu and choose copy if you want, but I like to use keyboard shortcuts. So on a Mac, it would be Command C. On a PC or a Chromebook, it would be Control C. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to go back to my document. I'm going to find the place in the document where I need the graph to be, and then I'm going to do paste. Again, you can go to edit if you want to. Otherwise, the command is Command V on a Mac, or it's Control V on a PC or a Chromebook. Again, Control V for paste, not P, that's print. So here is my chart in my lab report. If I want to type up above it, I can type any information I want to. And I can also click down here and I can type information below. So I can do that and have that chart stay in there. Now, if you go back to your spreadsheet, let's say maybe you have more than one chart of some kind, maybe you have several sets of data. All you have to do is do the same step. You're going to copy again, go back here. Maybe you want to put this one down a little ways. And again, Control V or Command V, and it's going to put your chart in your doc. So that is how you get a Google Sheet to create a chart and how you insert it into a Word doc.